Saying hi to the camera. Try to push her with my boob to get her on my other hand. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and I have 6 snakes, 3 tarantulas, 1 vinegaroon, and 2 cockroach colonies. I thought it'd be fun to do a video of all my animals, their personality, where I got them from, and just a little bit about them. So I'll keep the intro short and I'll get into it. We're gonna start off with the snakes. This is Cairo. He was my first snake ever. I did get him 5 years ago as of, I believe, last month. And he was young when I got him. I don't know how old he was. He was definitely under a year old though. I got him from a family friend who was going into the military and his mom didn't want to take care of him. So I took him in for $100 for him, the cage, everything. And he is now living a much better life. I don't know if he's a male or a female. I just call him a he because that feels right. He's a normal morph. I don't know much about morphs in general. I just know he's a normal. And his name is not Monty, which is what everyone names their first ball python. His name is Cairo, after the city in Egypt where he's not from. I have a theme with my snakes of naming them places where they're not from. There's a reason that I don't name them after places that they're from, because all the snakes that I've ever had that I named them after places that they're from are bratty and mean, and they try to bite me and they're rude. You'll see my Mexican black king snakes don't follow that, but they're an exception and they're giving me problems. But this is Cairo. He is a good boy and I love him, and I'm holding him so bad and he probably hates it. He looks like he's going into shed. His belly scales are all pink, but his eyes haven't turned blue yet. Hopefully I'll get a nice good shed out of him this time. I forgot to mention that he is in a 40-gallon tank right now. I am going to move him to an Animal Plastics T8. I have 3 on order right now, but they are getting here sometime next month. I will be building them in a future video and stay tuned for that. He is eating medium rats, frozen thawed. All my snakes are on frozen thawed. Alright, next up is my Western Hognose. Her name is Boone, but we never call her that. We call her Derpy. You can tell why. Also, she's an idiot. She hasn't been as hissy lately. She's been pretty nice. That is, if she's not trying to eat me as soon as the cage cracks open. I do have her in a 20-gallon aquarium right now, and she's doing great in it. She is a female from the looks of her tail. I haven't had her professionally sexed, but you can pretty much tell by the tail and by the scales on the tail, by the tail scales, that she is a female, and she will be getting probably bigger than this. I did get her over a year ago, about a year and a few months, and she was little when I got her. She was probably about a year old, so that makes her about 2 years old now. And she is somewhere between large hoppers and small mice right now. So this is Derpy. She is a normal morph Western Hognose, and I got her off Craigslist about a year ago from a guy who sold her for like 80 bucks. And I picked her up and I love her, and she's so dumb, and just look at her. She's something. She's really something. No? Okay. Alright, I'll put her back. Now we're on to Mexican black king snakes. This is Santiago, and I got him a year ago next month. Got him mid-August at a reptile expo somewhere in LA. I don't remember which one. And he was just a little baby. He was just a little baby in a deli cup when I got him. Bought him for $120. And he is amazing. He is I can't say my favorite snake because I love all of them, but he is what started my love of Mexican black king snakes and made me want to get into breeding them. So he won't be able to breed for another couple years, but when the time comes, I am definitely going to want to have some babies from him. And he's so adorable. He's in shed right now, so I can't keep him out too long, but he's sweet regardless. He's not defensive. He is on large fuzzy mice, almost onto hoppers right now. I do think he could probably take a hopper if he wanted to. He is a little thicker than my 2 other females, and I'll get to them in a second. He is such a good boy. He is always the sweetest. When he's hungry or he wants attention, yes, I know, like, you're not supposed to give human emotions to snakes, but he likes being out. He likes the adventure. He'll just like stare through the glass at us. We have our setup next to the couch. My boyfriend and I will be watching TV at night, and he'll just stare at us the whole time. He'll let us know when he's hungry. The only nights that he will hide are the night that we feed him and then the night after we feed him. And then the next night, it's back to the routine of watching us on the couch every single night. He is My only Mexican black king snake that does have a pretty good white chin. And he'll let me hold him like that, which is so funny. He'll do it when he's not in shed too. He just lets me hold him like that. He doesn't fight it. Yeah, you do have a white chin, but it's so cute. It's like those cats that are pure black, but then they only have the white chin. That's what I think he'd look like as a cat. He is in a 20-gallon tank right now, and I have no plans to move him up to something bigger right now, but one day he will be in a 40-gallon most likely. His 20-gallon provides way more than enough space. He could probably be in a 10-gallon right now, but he is very active and he does like to move around a lot, so a 20-gallon is perfect for him. But I am going to put him away because he's in shed and he's not enjoying this right now. You look like a little dragon when you're in blue. Yeah, you're so cute. I got 3 Mexican black king snakes last week, so I'll be showing those guys right now. The biggest guy is 12 years old. Yeah, this guy gave me a couple good bites the other day. Just barely enough to bleed, but I'm careful with him now because that was the 3rd snake I've ever been bitten by. And I don't particularly enjoy getting bitten by snakes. Didn't hurt, it just felt like Velcro, but that is not something I enjoy. And I don't want to repeat it. This is Sedona. He is from Craigslist. I got him off of Craigslist from a guy who was going to breed him and his 2 little girlfriends, but he was too caught up with breeding his lizards, like his skinks and stuff, and so he wanted to get rid of them, give them to a better home who was gonna appreciate them. So this guy is about 12 years old, and he is 4.5 feet long. He's a big boy. He is a little skinny, I think. I mean, king snakes are supposed to be skinny, but I want to put a little bit of weight on him because he looks like he's got some extra skin that needs to be filled in. Just a little bit. And you can kind of see his spine. So I just want to put a tiny bit more weight on him. But other than that, he's beautiful. He's perfect. And he's not biting me today. I think he just bit me the other day because I smelled like my other snakes that I had just held. So he was hungry and he wanted food. I do have him in a tub setup right now. I will be moving him into a 40-gallon as soon as I get a new cage for my ball python, which is coming next month. So he's in a tub. It's 50-something quarts. It's big. It's bigger than you need for a ball python. So he's good, and he's eating small rats. I'm going to be feeding him once a week until I feel like he's big enough, and then it'll be once every 2 weeks. So I'll put him back. This is Sedona. The next snake that I have is Sinaloa, and she is trying to musk right now, so I don't want to get that on me because I don't want to be stinky. She is the smaller of my 2 female Mexican black king snakes, and is a little problem child. Both the females kind of are, but I just don't want to get musk on me. I don't want to be stinky. I'm not a fan of snakes musking on me. I did get her from the same guy I got my big boy off of Craigslist. This is one of his little girlfriends that should be ready to breed within the next year or 2. The guy I got her from did buy her from the Pomona Reptile Expo. Her and her friend are 2 unrelated females. I keep wanting to call them sisters, but they're not. Well, I guess they're sister wives. I feel so bad holding her like this, but I don't want to get it on me, and she's still pissed off. She is on large fuzzies, small hoppers right now, and I am trying to grow her up, so she's eating like 2 of those a week. I am going to put her back. She's in a smaller tub right now. She will be either moved into a bigger tub or a 20-gallon, depending on what I feel like she needs. So that's Sinaloa. This is Sonora. She looks like she wants to musk on me, but her vent's closed up right now, so I'm hoping we're in the clear. She is the slightly bigger of the 2 females, and she is also more photogenic. Same guy as the other 2 I just showed you, and she is also from the Pomona Reptile Expo, and like I said, unrelated to the other female. So I'll put her back because she's mad, and I don't want to get musked on. But that is Sonora. Go back in there. Oh, she's got a little tail rattle going. Oh, she's mad. Ooh, angry. So those are all of my snakes. I have 1 ball python, 1 western hognose, and 4 Mexican black king snakes. Next we're on to the inverts, and I have my 3 tarantulas in front of me right now. I can only hold 1 of them because the other 2, one of them I can hold, but she's too skittish and she's too quick. I'd rather just keep her in her cage. She is very docile. She is just very skittish. And my other tarantula is extremely aggressive, so I don't hold that guy at all. And I never want to try because I don't want to feel those fangs and I don't want to feel the hair that he puts off. So my first tarantula, what I do to get her out is I just poke her butt with something and I keep my hand in front of her so she has no choice but to crawl into my hand. She's very docile. This is her. This is not Eskazoo, my Honduran curly-haired tarantula. She should be a female. She is an adult. I don't plan on breeding tarantulas, so it doesn't matter to me if they're male or female. It's more how long they live. I did try to choose all females. However, you can't really accurately tell. This is my hopefully female adult Honduran curly-haired tarantula. And her name is not Eskazoo, and she's a nice girl. I try to push her with my boob to get her on my other hand. Yeah, there you go, lady. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, you're good. I am over carpet right now, so if she fell, it wouldn't be the end of the world, most likely, but I don't want that to happen. Which is also a reason that I don't like holding my other tarantula that I could hold. So there's my fluffy girl. She eats when she wants. She's eaten probably once in the last 6 months, but I'm not too worried because her abdomen is still really chunky and she's very thick. Thick with 3 C's. I got her over a year ago from a reptile expo. I got her from Millipedes and More, and I love her, and the guy still comments on my Instagram post whenever I post a picture of her to let me know how good she looks. I do keep her in a tub. It is about equivalent to a 10-gallon. It does have a couple inches of substrate, and she has 2 hides, and she only uses one of them. I just drilled holes in the side, and I spray it down every once in a while. I don't really try to feed her that often. But when I do, most of the time she doesn't take it. I feed her dubia roaches and occasional crickets. Alright, I'll put her back. One thing I love about her is that she leaves her little silk all over me when I hold her. So I'll be covered in little spider silks. That is not Eskazoo. I'm not going to get into the first Eskazoo right now because that's a whole nother can of worms that I'm not going to open today. Alright, this is Bone Daddy, my Costa Rican zebra-leg tarantula. She was an adult when I got her about a year ago from a reptile expo. I don't remember which one I got her from, and I don't remember who I got her from. But she is apparently a female, and she is an adult. She has molted once with me, and it was beautiful, and she came out very black. She was brown before with her little stripes, and I named her Bone Daddy because just look at those little bone legs. So cute. And Bone Daddy is a reference to The Nightmare Before Christmas, if you didn't know. She is docile. I would be able to hold her, and she doesn't bite, she doesn't flick her hairs, but she is just too skittish, and I would lose her just like I lost my first Eskazoo, so we don't do that. But this is Bone Daddy, and I have her in a tank that is about approximate to a 10-gallon, and she's got her 2 little hides, which she doesn't tend to use a lot. She tends to just stick to the sides. This is a half, so she would be able to burrow down into it. This is just a full pot. But this is her setup, and I just spray it down every once in a while. She does eat adult male dubia roaches, just like my other tarantulas, but she doesn't eat as much as my last tarantula I'm going to show you, but she does eat a lot more than my Honduran curly hair. So this is Bone Daddy, and I'll let her get back to it, whatever tarantulas do when we're not looking. All right, bye! Alright, this is Reaper. He is a not full grown yet, but he is a Goliath bird eater. He is Taraposa, I don't know the correct way to pronounce it, but he is Sturmy, not Blondie, so he is the 2nd largest tarantula species in the world. Blondie is just a little bit too hard to keep, so I'd rather have Sturmy, which is a lot easier. They are a lot less fragile than Blondie, and just generally easier. Lower humidity requirements, a lot more sturdy and hardy than a Blondie. But he is a big meanie. There's a lot meaner words I could say about him, but I'll just call him a big meanie. You can see where he kicks all his hair, and we don't even do anything. We just like open his cage to feed him. I do believe he's a he, because in his last molt I tried to sex it myself, and to me it looked like a male, but I would need to get him professionally sexed. He could also be a female, but I do hope he is a female so he lives a lot longer, even though he's a big meanie. But he is at about 9-inch leg span right now. He will probably grow to closer to 12 inches. So that's why I say that he is a juvenile, because I don't believe he's an adult yet. But I don't know how to tell the difference between juveniles and adults, and it doesn't matter to me because I'm not breeding them. He is in the same setup as the other ones. If he spread out, he would be like a lot bigger. I do need to upgrade him soon. I need to get new tubs for them, but I will work on that setup soon. But for now, this is fine. And he tries to escape all the time, and I feed him male dubia roaches as often as he'll eat them. He will eat probably almost every day, but I do limit feeding to more like twice a week. I did get him for Christmas from my boyfriend. This was something that I was prepared for. I was not prepared for this specific species. I didn't know he could find it. I just gave him a list of the animals that I liked and was prepared for, and he got this. And I did have the tubs, I did have the substrate. However, I was not expecting him to be able to find one of these. So he was a surprise, but I was prepared for him. He was from a reptile store in Chatsworth, I believe called Exotic Life. But all right, I'll leave him alone because he's mean and I'm scared of him. All right, bye Reaper. That's all for my tarantulas, and now we're going to move on to my other inverts. So starting off, I do have my vinegroon right here. I can hold him, but I don't want to because I don't want to risk him falling. He does not have a good grip, and he is very dumb and blind. All right, this is Balsamic, my vinegroon. I did get him for Christmas from my boyfriend at the same time as I got Reaper. I believe he is a giant vinegroon. He is very cool. I believe he's an adult. And what's really cool about him is he has his little claws right there, and then his little blind man legs right here. Oh, there, he just moved them. Those are his legs. Those are actually his legs. He does have 3 pairs of his other legs right there, which does make him an arachnid and puts him in the same group as scorpions and spiders. And then his tail right there sprays vinegar. That's why they call it a vinegroon. And he has done it before, not on me, but in the inside of a cup. That was my vinegroon Balsamic. I can hold him, and he will not spray me if I don't scare him, but I do not want to drop him because he doesn't have a good grip on anything. But he is very cool, and I will hopefully have him around for a few more years. And lastly, we are onto the cockroaches. I have 2 cockroach colonies. I do keep them in the same bin just for convenience purposes, and they don't fight with each other. The hissers do get mad at the dubias when they touch them, but they don't fight and they get along fine. I see no problem with keeping them together. First up, I have my dubia roaches. I do just use these as feeders. They're not really pets. I feed off the adult males and sometimes the babies to my tarantulas and my vinegroon, and they love them. So here's an adult male. It does have wings and it's gonna run. No. And here's an adult female. The male is right here. The males have wings, so that's how I tell them apart. Males do have wings, but they can only fly downwards, which makes them really annoying, but at least they can't fly up. The dubias do start out about that big. That is a little bit bigger than the newborns, just a little bit bigger. I've been keeping the dubias for over a year now. I don't know exactly. I just bought them and started raising them for food, and I started off with a colony of about 10, maybe 15, maybe 20, and we are now up to a few hundred. Now onto my Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I did not plan on breeding them, but they did have babies, so I just went with it. And now that they are having babies, I just stuck them in with the dubias, so I can also feed the babies to my critters. But these were not meant to be food in the beginning, but now that they're breeding, they are gonna be food. But this is my original male. This is my adult male. None of the babies are old enough to be adults yet. But this is the adult male, and then I have the adult female right here. I've had these for almost a year now, and they are doing good. They're doing great, actually. The female's legs are chewed off, but she came like that. They are very stinky, and I don't like that about them. The dubias actually smell kind of good. They kind of smell like off maple syrup, even though maple syrup I don't think can go off. So here are my adult Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and whoop, their names are Shrek and Fiona. With the Madagascar hissing roaches, I can tell the difference between the males and the females because the males have horns and are a lot smaller, and the females are a lot bigger and they do not have horns. However, in the juveniles, in both species, you cannot tell the difference between the sexes. Which in a colony, you only need so many males, like 1 or 2 males per 10 females. so I don't really have use for the extra males because it does tend to be like 50-50 of males and females when they emerge from their last instar, from their last molt. So I just feed off the adult males because I don't need them. It isn't a sexism thing like people tend to think it is, but you know, F all men 2020, am I right? I do feed these guys scraps of fruit and veggies that are either going bad or just the bad parts of when I'm cooking, like the little gross parts or the tops and the stems and things that you can't use when you're cooking or you don't want to use. I toss it to them. And also they really like carrots, so I'll buy just bags of carrots that they can munch on if I'm out or I'm not cooking a lot. I do really like that. They do mostly eat food scraps, so I don't really spend a lot of money on these guys. Dubia roaches don't climb at all, they don't bite. The Madagascars do climb when they're younger. The adults can't really climb because they're too big. The juveniles will climb, so I do keep a lid on the tank because of that. And I just have mesh on the top so the food doesn't go moldy, because it has happened before where I've left the top on thinking it would be fine and the food goes moldy because it's too humid in there and everything just goes bad and it's really bad and the roaches start dying and it's not a fun time. So I do have a mesh lid on there that I made, that me and my boyfriend made ourselves, courtesy of Lowe's. We don't support Home Depot in this house. All right guys, so that's all my animals. So that is 6 snakes, 3 tarantulas, 1 vinegroon, and 2 cockroach colonies. I am planning on getting 1 more snake for sure next month, and after that it's kind of a mystery. There are some animals that I have in mind that I do want and I am planning on getting at some point, but it's just when the time comes, when reptile expos open up, when shelters open back up. But I will be getting more animals in the future, so make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for that. I will have an unboxing for my snake coming next month, and I will be building some animal plastics cages and setting those up next month. So subscribe to stay tuned for those, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and leave a like to show your support. I will see you guys next time.